Welcome, welcome to a VO's Journey YouTube channel. It is 1 o'clock, which means it is time to be live. My name is Anthony Pica. I'm your host. This channel is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business so they can sidestep all of the crazy things that I step on. So today is Friday. What's interesting about Friday is I posted this in my group, but my wife said to me this morning, thank God it's Friday. And I was like, I had this feeling that it feels like every other day now that I work full time. And it is such a blessing and it is an honor to be a full-time voiceover artist. I love it. And I'm so happy. And I wish that upon the rest of you. So if you're working towards that, trust me, keep rocking it. You'll get there. I usually talk about tips and tricks and things on YouTube and my YouTube channel. And for my podcast, I talk a lot more about, my inner feelings and stuff, and also things that are going on and tips and tricks too. But I think for this episode, I really want to talk about, the title of this was called, Are You Passionate About Voiceover? And, hey, happy birthday, Storm. Nice. And that's what I'm really feeling like I should be talking about today, because I've been seeing some incredible results for some people that I've been coaching, and I'm so happy for them, and I'm wishing them the best, and businesses are growing and it's exciting. And I'm starting to work with a lot of new people as well. And I think that, looking back when I started, when I first started voiceover, I had done a bunch of stuff. This was a couple years ago. I had done a bunch of things. I had a restaurant business at one point. I tried multi-level marketing. I tried everything. I tried selling stuff. I tried to do websites, like, where you used to, like, back in 08 or it was like 2011 or something, where they, used to do like websites where you try to get traffic based on keywords. I tried that. I tried a whole bunch of different things, to be an entrepreneur and to start my life out, on my own path instead of working for someone else. And, I failed at all of them. You know what I mean? They didn't work out. And when I look back on it, most of it had to do with, I wasn't passionate about those things. It didn't drive me to work when no one else was working. And this is where I'm going with all this. When I started my voiceover business a few years ago, I wanted to do what I had gone to school for, what I had a passion for my whole life, and that was acting. And I didn't know how to go about being a professional actor with my schedule, because I wanted a family. I wanted a home. I wanted to be in one place. I didn't want to have to travel. And I'm not in New York or LA. So, there are places around me, but, it's not, I'm in Williamsburg, Virginia. So it's not like I'm not in a hub of anything like that. So, I didn't want to leave and uproot my family for something like that. So I wanted to figure out a way that I could actually live my dream, but do it from my home. And, I came across, it's amazing too. By the way, here's another thing I noticed. When you want something bad enough, when you put those thoughts out there into the world, they happen to show up. Just like the idea of, like, when you're driving a car, you bought a new car, you're thinking about a type of car, and then all of a sudden you see it everywhere. It's interesting. I think the things are always there, but we're not always attuned to seeing them. Anyways, so I started off my journey, and it was tough. What's funny is I after every night I would put my booth up at I had a PVC pipe packing blanket hut. I would put it up at 10 p.m. and I would take it down at like 3 a.m. And I did this like every single night, because that was about the time when my kids went to bed and my wife went to bed that I could work. You know what I mean? And that's what I did. And I did that. I worked on weekends. And, it's funny, because looking back on that, I think, gosh, that's crazy. But when I look back on it, I think I wasn't upset that I was doing it. I wasn't mad that I was doing it. I wasn't trying to, quit. It didn't feel like it was wrong. It felt like it was right. And I think that's something that, drove me to keep going. So all of this kind of leads me to what I'm talking about today. If you're in business or you're trying to get in business for yourself and you're trying to grow your business as a voiceover artist, there comes a point where you have to say to yourself, are you willing to do what it takes? Now, I'm not saying that I want you to stay up until 3 in the morning like I did. But what I'm saying is we all have different schedules. We all have different things going on in our lives. And I truly believe that if you want to be successful at something, you've got to go all in. You've got to take that passion you have and give it everything you've got. And that can mean all kinds of things. That could mean trying things out that you don't think you should. That could mean, going on sites that you don't think you should go on. That could mean, doing XYZ, working harder than you thought you should work. All of those things are really important because when it boils down to it, and I want to say this from the bottom of my heart to everybody who's watching, in about a year and a half, 2 years, I've gone from never doing voiceover to being a full-time voiceover artist. And I say that only because I worked really hard. But at the same time, I wanted it so bad that there was nothing I was going to take for less. I was going to do it. And I felt like I had something to prove. And this is the interesting thing. It wasn't that I wanted to prove to other people. I needed to prove it to myself, right? I needed to prove to myself that that I could do it. I think after so long, you get frustrated with things and you got to prove to yourself that you can do it. You got to fight for it. And today is kind of such a philosophical discussion, but it's so important because I think so many people that I work with too, though they get confused about what direction they take, what they should focus on, what website they should go on. Should I be in Fiverr? Should I not be on Fiverr? I saw a crazy discussion this morning. I will leave the names out of the people who were involved in it. But it was nuts about Fiverr and about prices and so many angry people about pricing. I was so amazed at how frustrated people are with other people about what other people are doing. Anyways, the point is that I would have loved, I hope those people put that same passion into their business and into their dreams. Because there was a lot of passionate discussions going on. But anyways, I think that for me today, I want you to take away that if you want this bad enough, okay, in the end, it's how much are you willing to work for this? How much are you willing to and sacrifice is not the right word. Okay. I don't believe that you have to, I believe in being smart, like you don't sacrifice, eating tonight. Don't sacrifice your bills. But what I mean by that is how much are you willing to do in order to succeed? How much are you willing to give of yourself? And here's the thing, if you are concerned about the work hours, like late at night or early in the morning, or when you're tired, just remember too that this is not always a slow, this is not only a forever process. Like if I said to you for the next 2 years, if you work every night from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. in the morning and you do XYZ, at the end of those 2 years, you'll be making 6 figures. You can quit your job, work from home, and live the life you've dreamed of. And you no longer have to do that because now you're in control of when you do your work. The question is, would you do it? Right? That's the question. I don't know what the answer is for you, but that's exactly that little snippet is my story. That is my story in a nutshell. That's what I did. And I know that I am not anything special, that if I did that, you can do that. So I guess my question to you is, are you putting in the amount of effort that you believe you could put in? Or are you leaving some of that passion, some of that fire out? Are you letting it dwindle? Are you letting it not be used? That's really the key for me. because all of the sites, and then I was talking about that conversation because they were talking about also specific, a specific website as always, or at least the person who started the conversation was talking about that. I know the person. And, if it's something that's bothering you and you're not willing to do it, you know what I mean? There comes a point where you're saying to yourself, either A, you're willing to do whatever it takes, meaning like going on the website you don't want to go on, doing doing hundreds of auditions, doing books about, carburetors, doing whatever you need to do as a business to grow your voiceover business. Whether A, you are a voiceover artist that's been doing this for a long time and you're trying to rebuild your business, or you're trying to grow. All right. And the way things happened in the past aren't happening anymore. And you're confused about what direction, and you're worried about doing some of the new things that other people are still, maybe some of your peers are upset about. Or maybe you're a new artist who's seeing a lot of people talk about things and you're not sure what you should do because you're worried they're going to judge you, or you're worried you're going to make a mistake. You've got to listen to yourself and what you want. And if you want to be successful, I can't think of anyone who ever wanted to be successful who was not willing to give it their all. Now, I'm not saying that you need to compromise who you are or your morals. But at the same time, if your morals start to affect, I think, let me rephrase, if what you believe in, okay, if there's another opinion, don't be afraid to listen to it, because that other opinion might be what you just need to help you get over that hurdle. Does that make sense? So I hope that if you're watching this, you take this with, the idea that, am I doing everything I can? Am I really pushing myself? Have I spent that couple of days that I know I needed to spend to build my business plan? Have I worked on my marketing plan? Am I reading books about selling? We're salesmen, everybody. We have to sell. Okay. Am I contacting websites? This interesting today. I called like 4 or 5 different online websites for voiceover, and I just wanted to talk to the people. On a side note too, I spoke to Wasnt in the UK today. It was really awesome. And next week I'm doing an interview with Miles, who is the CEO of Wasnt. I'm really excited about that. And they've been sending me a bunch of information. So that's going to be really cool. That'll be on the podcast. So I'm excited to get that information to all of us, because I really do think Wasnt is up and coming. So that's cool. But like I called Voice Realm, I called a bunch of different companies, just talking to them. What was the other one? Voice Jungle, I think is the name of the company. There's a bunch there. I was just calling places and talking to them, saying, hey, what do I need to do? Tell me about your platform. How do they work? Because I want to learn more about how to grow the business. When I finally got a Fiverr Success Manager, my business skyrocketed even more. I mean, like doubled or tripled. Now everybody can't get the 5 or 6. You have to be accepted in the program. But a point I'm trying to say is when you're talking to people, or when you're learning more about a business, and when you're giving it everything you can, you're going to grow. You're going to learn more. So again, my question to you is, are you doing everything you can? Are you calling everybody you can? Most people don't like to call, but in the end, if you're not calling, maybe that's exactly what you need to do. Maybe you need to start calling places. Maybe you need to start thinking differently, taking different paths. All right. Well, anyways, I'm on a soapbox about all this, and it's just my thoughts today, and I wanted to talk to you about them. If you got any questions or comments or anything, go ahead and leave them into the chat. I know I didn't kind of leave any room for question or comments for this, but I do think that with what that conversation this morning was really kind of interesting to me. And I kind of thought to all those people that I wish every single one of them the very best. And I hope that all of them, no matter what side of the fence they're on, can understand that everybody has their own point of view. But in the end, none of those people that were making comments on that post and stuff, none of them are going to be there for the other person and their business and their family. They're not going to be there to help them. They're not going to help them grow their business. So, in the end, you've got to answer to yourself and the things that you want. And by the way, if you look at other businesses, right? Sure, business can be mad at another business, but it's a competition. Let's not kid ourselves. It is a competition. And we are competing. So you're competing with me, I'm competing with you. We're competing with all these people. We can help each other, absolutely. But in the end, if you get the job and I don't, we competed against each other. You won that job. I'm going to keep trying to win the next job. But let's not kid ourselves. You know what I mean? It is a competition and it is a business. So anyways, thoughts, comments, things you'd like to say about that. Be like, Anthony, you're just plain wrong, you butthead. You can say that too. It's okay. I'm okay with it. Let's see. Storm is here again. Happy birthday, Storm. Wolf Creek. I love every time. Wolf Creek. I want you to sponsor this YouTube channel, Wolf Creek Training and Consulting LLC, so I can say this channel is sponsored by Wolf Creek Training and Consulting LLC. Just because that name always gets me. Okay, let's see. What's your world domination Fiverr? 6% here and growing. Oh, cool. I think I don't know if mine's any better or worse than anybody else. Mine's at 34%. Mine's at 34%. Greenland is going to be tough. Yeah, absolutely. The world domination thing is fun. I have to see how far I'm along. I slowly backed away from that discussion, to be honest. Don't need that kind of vibe in my life and pay. Yeah, and that's true too. We don't need to concern ourselves with that stuff. Let's see. Our goal for Wolf Creek Audio is building trust with Fiverr and showing we can handle the workload and deliver more service than we are paid for. Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a lot of work there. And there's a lot of people that I know I work with who are starting to make a lot of money on Fiverr, and I'm so excited for them. Thousands of dollars. So good deal. Voices by Storm with a smiley face. Yay, Big Jim. I'll be there for you, homie. And I will be there for you, Jim. All right, you guys, I'm going to take off. I've got other stuff to do. I think I'm going to do a podcast too, because I usually try to do 2 a week. So I'll put out a podcast about some things. But thank you guys so much for watching. Like, share, comment. And this was a weird, one today because I just wanted to talk about the things that were on my mind. But I'm excited about next week because lots of things going on. Things to note that I've been doing recently. I've been starting to put up a lot more auditions on Voice 123. Been starting to, like I said, join other websites, calling websites. I think I'm starting to think a little bit differently about where I would like to go with my website, as opposed to before everything was about contact me, call me if you need to, we'll work out something. But you know what I realized too, even if you put a load of reviews on your website, think about it. Online, we live by reviews, right? If somebody comes to your website, they can't even read it. I mean, like there's no like peer verified reviews, right? Because you can't tell, you can't tell, because honestly, you could get a website and write a whole bunch of fake reviews. You'd never know. So I was thinking, I'm starting to get an idea that maybe my website needs to be like a landing page for some of my other offerings that I offer around the web, where places that they can go to get to me. You know what I mean? Because that would make sense. And they could contact me. But if they want to work with me, maybe I do have a link to Fiverr. Maybe I do have a link to Voquint. Maybe I do have a link to Voice 123. You know what I mean? And these different places that they can contact me and work with me so that they can see all of the reviews I have, right? Because on Fiverr, I've done over 1,000 voiceovers and everything on there. And I have lots of incredible 5-star reviews. But that doesn't do any good on my website. Right? It does really good if you go to Fiverr and you read all of them. You'll be like, holy crap, this guy's, great. I'll work with him. Right? So, but it doesn't mean no good if I can't get that on my website. So, I mean, these are just things I'm thinking about. Just think about you purchasing online. When you purchase online, what do? You read the reviews. I swear, I don't buy anything without reading reviews. And if you buy stuff without reading reviews, more power to you. But I don't, unless it is trumped by someone recommending it to you that you that you view as like an authority on that, right? But still, we read the reviews. So anyways, just thoughts that are going on with me. All right, you guys. Let's see what's going on. Anthony just jumped on here. What did I miss? You missed me ranting and raving about thoughts on passion and business and what I think you need to do in order to grow. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and I will see you Monday at 1 o'clock. All right, you guys. Oh, and for my mastermind people, see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Bye-bye.